the 34 now. Here's 1st and 10. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. The Chiefs at 4-3, a game over 500. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They got the home crowd behind them.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Dolphins have got it. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. This defense for... excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
They're in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. Buying time to his left. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And the Chiefs are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Well, when he feels the pressure, naturally he likes going to his left, as most left-handed quarterbacks do. But this time he tries to let this go on the run, and it's going to wind up getting intercepted.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. His throw incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. From midfield, here's Mahomes. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Mahomes to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Partner, I came into this game eager to see how they would hold up in man coverage. And on that play, they held up quite well.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Watch out for Hill on the return. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they were winners the last time they took the field, which was 2 weeks ago. They had the open week last week, so this is a squad that should be really refreshed and ready to roll.
I would agree, because when you get that open week after a victory, it does wonders for everyone. Obviously, your body, get a chance to heal up, but your mind as well. You feel good about winning, so now you can get away from it for a few days, put down the playbook, turn off the film. Just be you. Enjoy that time away, and then you come back ready to go.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Tua sets up to pass it. He's going to go for a big play downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
Hardman on the return. Take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On play action, it's Mahomes. Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells.
He's got a man complete. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. And sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And that's how you start a drive because you know they had this play in their back pocket, waiting for the right time to unleash it. And boy, did they pick the right opportunity. Unleashed it big time, and that was also a big-time throw.
And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9. And the final number on that throw, boy, it traveled an even 69 yards. Play action, now it's Tua. And that is incomplete here.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to transfer his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Inside give to Elliott. And they get him down about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 3rd down pickup of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Ready. Black Ultra. Black red. Ready?
Tua on 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they are over 500 for the season, 4-3. They got back above 500 with a victory last week. And, Charles, you think this is a very important week for them, do you not?
I certainly do, because when you start to do the math, and yes, I'm using my fingers to count, if you're 4-4 at the midway point, let's say you're saying 10 wins is your cutoff line for a playoff berth. It's usually right around that number. A loss here, all of a sudden you've got to go 6-2 down the stretch just to reach 10 wins. That means this game is vital.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter of play. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 60 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now they'll throw with Mahomes. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 15-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. A handoff as they run the counter play. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Throwing now is Mahomes. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the 1st on 3rd. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the Dolphins are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And, partner, I know so far, and we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about
this is caught inside the 15. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. And that looked almost to be a case of, you know, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished. A 1st down carry by Elliott. And here he'll get it down to the 7. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down. You're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
2nd and 6 with the ball on the 7. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1.
That was well defended, and while his completion resulted in a loss of yardage, it's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Partner, when you're not able to run the ball successfully, it really messes everything up for an offense because no longer are you setting the tone and dictating the game. If you do want to throw the ball, play action's kind of gone out the window because they don't respect the run. And last but not least, you don't get to dictate it all when you want to throw the football, and that really hurts you as an offense.
Sanders' kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Jason Sanders to kick off one.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. 72 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. He'll get this to about the 38.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw, it's Mahomes. And he fires one incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Mahomes going to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
A handoff left, Elliott. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Again, it's Elliott. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Space there, takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up. The loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder. And they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great effort there. His 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead grows to 10-0.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it, down by 2 scores. That is knocked away and incomplete, but a penalty flag. In the backfield, this might be a roughing call.
And even though that's 15 yards they're going to gain, this Kansas City offensive line has got to get together and say, got to do a better job protecting our franchise quarterback.
First and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Mahomes now to throw. And he's got the speedster Goodwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Xavier Howard. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared, had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
They find some open field here. And how about that for just running out the clock? Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's two ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
Strike blue. Blue striker. Ready?
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Tua. That's going to be caught by Waddle. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. The kick by Sanders is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And Hill will opt for the touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Out to his left. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Elliott. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Javon Holland. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
Tackle made there by Frank Clark. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Off a play action. Tagovailoa. They'll roll him out right. And this one too low.
Martin, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
A good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Mahomes. Goodwin able to haul it in. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 40. They'll look to throw here. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
A third quarter action from Kansas City. 2nd down and 10. He'll look to throw. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Noah Igbenogany. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force the incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd down at the Chiefs' 21-yard line.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Ready.
8 yards to go on 2nd down.
Ready.
Tua going to throw. Catch made right, but I think the ball's out, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing that danger lurks while you're doing so, and there's your end result right there.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the fourth quarter. And a big deficit. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to get it back here just past the 35. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he had won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. Tua's throw caught by his receiver, Hill. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 25 yards that time. The passing game continues to be their friend, even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles. They're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well.
The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Chiefs.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. On 2nd down, this is Edmonds. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
In motion, Hill. A 20th carry here for Elliott. Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
The kick by Sanders is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse.
And that's caught inside the 35. A big play there for KC. 51 yards. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. I think it's safe to say this is a game he's not going to forget anytime soon, Charles. 3 interceptions.
It's rare that we see 3 interceptions by one team, let alone by an individual. And I think that after the second one, he's probably telling his teammates, any ball that's in the air, it's going to be mine. And that turned out to be true.
And all the way down to the 36-yard line. 153 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Pretty secure lead, but what's the harm in adding another touchdown, right? At least that's what they were thinking on that snap. But if he wants to add more points, got to bring the throw down just a little bit and keep it in the end zone.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Tua. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Wilson. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 21. 15 yards there on the catch and run. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think he continued to do so.
Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. Going right back to Wilson. Touchdown, Dolphins. Cedric Wilson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now.
Chiefs, nothing. Jason Sanders to kick off formally.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mahomes, he's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off Byron Jones.
Mahomes passes. Intercepted.
How about one last great play defensively, and that should, for all intents and purposes, finish off this shutout.
That's as good a defensive performance as we've seen in a long, long time. And I know as a team they will celebrate, but I will guarantee you the defensive guys, they'll get together somewhere and have their own private celebration. A shutout, that's something to be cherished.
That one looks like he'll throw here. That one completes Elliott. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. They have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the 4th quarter.
And that they have in every way, and plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
A lot of effort there for just a 3-yard gain, and now 2nd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run,
But for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And I tell you what, Charles, this might